November 3rd, 2015. Welcome into Weather Center Live. I'm Stephanie Abrams alongside Jen Carfagno.
And things are finally starting to dry out, kind of, after days of rain. We'll explain. Still got a few wet spots out there. More on that coming up. But let's start with
on what's happening right now, and Jen has that.
I bet you couldn't figure out which wiper speed to use, right? That's the kind of rain you got going on right now in the southeast. Hard to figure out the right wiper setting. Show you some of the numbers out there. So Charlotte, 2.6. That broke the old record back from 1947 of 1.82. We are well above average, more than 4 inches above average when you go back to just September 1st. So this is the issue. The ground is just so saturated. Rain still this morning up toward Charleston into eastern North Carolina. Wilmington area getting a very steady rain. This happens to be where our low pressure is, so we're kind of stuck under it and in it this morning for the ride. We've got rain still here, steady at times, but everywhere else, you are just stuck in the muck. We're just locked in with the low clouds, the fog, the drizzle, and there's really nothing to kick it out today. So not expecting a lot of changes. What you see is what you get. Atlanta, Charlotte, it's going to be a drizzly, low cloudy, almost rainy kind of day. We've got the steadier rain at times, though, up in eastern North Carolina. Charleston will get some breaks from the heaviest of rain, but not that we're going to clear out either. No one really gets a chance to clear out completely to blue sky into the southeast. The rainfall, as we look ahead from today to tomorrow, could be back heavy at times. Could see another 1 to 2 inches of rain here in the low country of South Carolina and eastern North Carolina as well. Meanwhile, Steph, the heat is on. These numbers are amazing.
They are amazing. I was just looking, bringing rain and wind and snow, a lot of it to California on Monday.
Causing traffic accidents and power outages from Bakersfield to near Lake Tahoe. Resorts like Loveland and A Basin that are already open. And in Colorado, you too will get some snow out of the system as it crosses through the west and into the east. So this big system in the west is a big deal, right? We saw rain in San Francisco, rain in Modesto and Stockton. It's on the move. It'll bring some snow up here into the northern Rockies, including in Montana, rain down into the valleys. Southeast, we are not going to shake the rain, the showers, the drizzle, the cloudiness. We sort of wedged a little bit actually in the southeast. So high pressure up to the north is going to sort of keep things blocked up here in the southeast. South Florida, though, we're going to be very Florida-like, summer Florida-like, with temperatures in the 80s and the humidity still on. But watch the system march along as we get you into Wednesday. Here we go with this big system from the west on the move and bringing showers and rain, some of it heavy at times on Thursday, right from the southern plains up into the upper Midwest. From Minneapolis to Dallas, we are talking impacts from this system, and you can kind of guess and picture how the weather map is going to look. A big front that stretches from the southern plains all the way up to southeastern Canada. So there will be that risk of thunderstorms. Temperatures have been warm. Dew points are coming back up. So you're certainly going to feel a taste of spring more than fall out there in the air on Friday. On Saturday, the front makes a move all the way through the northeast, but extends back and sort of gets hung up here across the southern plains and the southeast. So it feels like we're going to do it all over again with the weather pattern that we are just getting through right now. And indeed, next week looks very similar. Showers stuck again in the southeast. We look at Sunday, we look at Monday. High pressure kind of wedges in, and we get in that very same pattern into the south and east. Meanwhile, in the northwest, we got another round of active weather coming on in.
Miami's sticking out like a sore thumb at 84 hot degrees. I'll take a detail this trek across the country coming up.
And we've got sort of a white landscape of another type to deal with. It's fog. The problem that we have with this warm weather is that it's conducive to fog, and we've got advisories out there for 26 million people. You can see everywhere in yellow, dense fog advisory. It goes till 10 o'clock across portions of Illinois, Tennessee, Atlanta as well. We're going to be stuck in the low clouds pretty much all day, but the really dense fog is going to be a problem right through the late morning hours, and you can see how it varies. You know, St. Louis, you're half mile, Evansville, you're 3 miles right now. You know how it is when you're driving. All of a sudden, you go through these areas of thicker fog, and sometimes if you're not paying attention, you can miss your turn, right? That's the kind of fog we're dealing with. If you're used to using landmarks out there, the fog sticks around at least until about 10 o'clock in some of the spots where it's thickest, like in Illinois. Steph.
All right, welcome back in. It's 6:30. We've got everything you know to get out the door.
All right, so we talk a lot about El Nino's impact on the west.
What's happening acutely, and that's all the rain.
Yeah, we've got rain, we've got drizzle, we've got fog. The southeast, we have been drenched since the weekend, and it's not changing. That includes right here rains, but of course, in that case, it was the Peachtree Creek out of its banks. That's the number, 2.62. That's the record that we hit in Atlanta for the day yesterday, nearly 10 inches above average year to date. It has been a wet year, expecting it to be a wet end of the year, too, when you look at sort of the pattern, which Steph is going to talk about. Now, right now, we've got rain out there, low country, South Carolina, eastern North Carolina. We've got some some rain right underneath the area of low pressure. You know, even though the low is on the move and the front is kind of on the move, sort of washed out right here, we don't really get to clear out. We're stuck in low clouds. We're stuck in fog. You're stuck in the kind of day where you can't figure out which wiper setting to put on your car because you don't really need them on. But every once in a while, sort of the drizzle and the mist sort of fill up your windshield. So watch the radar in motion as we forecast things for you today. You'll notice what happens. Some of the steady rain at times in eastern, south, and North Carolina. But the showery type weather is still with us through the rest of the southeast, including East Tennessee, western North Carolina, Charlotte, Greenville, Spartanburg, all going to be stuck in the low clouds and the drizzle. We're kind of wedged. We sort of have that situation with the high pressure to the north and just everything stuck here in the southeast. So we've got the rain that will be heavy at times along the coast, the drizzle that will be with us through the rest of the area. Look at this forecast in Atlanta. Temperatures in the upper 60s. The clouds stick around, and don't be surprised if you get misted on throughout the day. Get a spritz of mist as you get out there today.
Spritz of mist. Temperatures through Thursday.
All right, take the boat out, right? It's gonna be nice. Time now for a check of your weather headlines this morning, and our severe weather expert Dr. Noon, maybe not so much. We're heading up to 71. All right, so let's go ahead to the day ahead here. We've got temperatures in the 40s and 50s throughout the area, quickly warming up. This is those kind of days where by lunchtime already you go out to your car and it's hot when you open up the door inside because the sun is out and warming things up really nicely. Sun, of course, setting so early, making it so dark on your drive home from work these days. That's going to be the case, but at least we'll have some mild temperatures as you do it. Temperatures in Philly today heading up to 70 at 4 o'clock, Steph. This year's El Nino is nearing its peak. We know it's a strong one, but we will soon know if it's a record. That said, it's the winter time when you really see the phenomenon's greatest impacts.
So we want to look what that means, and for the South this winter, it could be affected by El Nino as well.
To chains, you know, the snow coming all the way down to central California to the Sierra, which we need, right? Last year we had a real paltry snowpack out there, so this is a good way to kick off the season. But let's show you what we're dealing with right now. We still have the snow continuing to come down right up here across northern parts of Nevada, up into southern Idaho. Once you head up in elevation, certainly above 10,000 feet, but even above 6,000 feet in spots, we are getting the snow accumulating and piling up. We take a look at where we have the winter storm warnings and advisories that have been posted. So anywhere that you see the darker blue, those are the warnings. The advisories are in the lighter blue. We've got a winter storm watch up for the San Juans here across southern Colorado. Aspen, Telluride, both under a winter storm watch. So get ready as we get into the next 2 days. Snow is coming your way. Again, snow right now, but let's put this into motion and show you what you can expect today as we continue to look ahead to the forecast. Looks like I'm in an endless loop of watches and warnings and radar. That'll work. That'll work. All right. The snow, here we go. The snow and the big dip in our jet stream. A lot of cold air that is filling in all the way deep down into parts of California behind this. You know, I was looking at the satellite picture and it has sort of a speckly look to it. So if you see your satellite picture maybe rotating through on your local on the 8s, that speckly look is indicative of the fact that we do have some chilly air in deep within this trough. It's going to mean some rain still along the coast, but especially through the northern Rockies this week. Now this is where we're focusing our attention for the mountain snow and the valley rain. So here we go, putting it into motion, and look at the speckly look back here. There's going to be some instability showers that we keep on watching over the Pacific. We'll see some of that across Nevada as well, but the focus for snow as we get you today into tomorrow is going to be up here. The Tetons will see it, the Bitterroots will see it, also back down here into Colorado, the San Juans expecting snow to pile up as well. Now we take a look at how much. 12 to 18 inches of snow is possible in southwestern portions of Colorado. Again, up at elevation, but snow mass, you've got that winter weather concern there. So we're going to see some snow for the ski resorts. Butte, we're looking at snow in the area as well. Again, especially up at elevation. Jackson Hole, we're going to see that as well. Let's talk about the temperature side of things and what this means. We are going to see a cool down spreading as we get into the end of the week, and we'll see that moving through, but quickly moving through the Midwest and the Northeast, and then we warm back up again.